I took the scenic route up the coast. Manzanitas and lupins grew along the roadside. A mile before I reached 101, a psychic sat with her futures foretold sign, and cars pulled over for her. 2 years before, she'd been the CEO of a San Francisco multimedia startup. I'd have stopped to consult her myself. Venture capitalists can be as superstitious as actors, baseball players, or combat pilots. Except I hated waiting in line. My photographs of Lillian, aligned along the dashboard, all captured her in the act of turning her back on the camera. My daughter had always been hard to figure. Why was her hair such a mess? And what did she see in that kid, Reed? Where was the hustle in that guy? The fire in his belly? There was an entrepreneur from San Diego I used to meet at industry functions, who founded a dot-com back in the boom years, got rich after the IPO, and bought a big house up in Shasta County. He walked out into his garden one Sunday, tried to brush the snow from a low-hanging sequoia branch, and brought 30 tons of snow clumping down on him. Weeks passed before they dug out his body. Reed reminded me of that guy. Somewhere along the line, the British lost their killer instinct. Probably started when they outlawed guns. It took me 30 minutes to reach North Berkeley. Bouncing over speed bumps, I passed clapboard churches, Berkeley brown shingles, and stucco bungalows shaded by persimmon and monkey puzzle trees. Dr. Kesku's office sat above an empty cafe. Ivy crawled up an old slat fence, reminding me of the house in Ohio where I was raised. The scent of freshly mown grass was everywhere. I climbed a staircase, walked down a narrow corridor past tables stacked with old-fashioned magazines, and edged my way into a room overflowing with trailing ferns. Fiorella was 40, but she looked younger. Even wearing a tweed suit, she was a head-turner, with green eyes and dark hair. Reed says you're from Bucharest, I said. Fiorella nodded. I sat back in an armchair. Would you mind not smoking, I asked. Fiorella said, I would, yes, mind, and do not fidget. It is imperative to turn off your cell phone for the duration of the therapy. Also, you will be aware that the Lacanians use variable length sessions. This means I will decide when the session is over. Some sessions will last less than a full 50 minutes. Will any sessions last more than a full 50 minutes? She shook her head. I don't really know why I'm here, I said. No therapist I've hired so far has been worth a damn. They only tell me obvious things, that I'm under work-related stress, that I have difficulty communicating with my daughter, that I'm afraid of burning out. They wanted me to take anger management classes, but I've known a lot of people, and the ones who weren't angry were the ones who never got anywhere. Are you lighting another cigarette already? Returning my stare, Fiorella took a drag on her lucky strike, as if it was her final request before facing a firing squad. My daughter had a healthy upbringing near Phoenix, I said. On her 13th birthday, I gave her the complete works of Ayn Rand. Bound in sealskin. The Christmas after that, there was a Remington 20 gauge waiting for her under the tree. Nothing brings more security to a father's heart than hearing his daughter operate the slide of a shotgun. Fiorella blew some smoke rings. She made me feel like I really was having a midlife crisis after all. Sometimes I feel like I'm losing my grip, I told her. The whole business is emotionally biased towards the economic downside right now. That's just not what I'm about. I'm worried Iglu's pissed with me. Iglu's one of my partners. What are you doing to piss him off, she said. Following hunches. Iglu wants to play by the rules. He's the kind of guy who keeps all the money in his wallet facing the same way. He cuts his steak into little cubes before eating it. He can spend weeks reevaluating our screening metrics and valuation formulas. I've always said, when you look at companies, you're looking at the people. Early stage investing is supposed to be a gamble. It's about feel, knowing when you're in the zone. Isn't there a law against smoking during therapy in Berkeley? You are free to look for another therapist. Aren't you supposed to be improving my health? There is no such thing as health, Fiorella said. The only alternatives are hysteria, obsessional neurosis, psychosis, or perversion. Which is better? Fiorella shrugged. You are searching for something that does not exist, she said. Maybe I'm just looking for a woman. She nodded. La femme n'existe pas, she said. Lacan said that woman does not exist. Your session is over now, Mr. Light. But there's something I have to tell you. Tabitha and I had, Fiorella stood up. We had a son. Your session is over, she repeated. A son who, you may go home, but it's only 6:15. I decide when we are done. But I thought, I never even mentioned Dale to my other therapists. Are you totally winging it or what? Back outside, cardboard notices advertised yard sales and bake sales. A tricycle had been upended on an otherwise perfect lawn. A woman put down suitcases on the porch opposite before knocking insistently on the door. Some barbarian had slashed the tires of my BMW, and they'd keyed the paintwork too. A homeless guy asked me for spare change. I thought of the sermon Pastor Jerry gave the Sunday before. He said today's liberal bureaucrats were like the monks of the Middle Ages, and their so-called charities served only to breed legions of beggars. Pastor Jerry learned all about history as part of a deliverance ministry extension course. After calling a garage to tow the car, I returned to Virella's door and pressed the buzzer. Hello, she said. Sorry I came unglued there, I said. You know what they say, Americans think problems have solutions, Europeans think solutions have problems. What happens, Virella told me, is one designs a solution, then to justify imposing it, one fantasizes a problem. I grappled with that for a while. The business mindset is there's always a solution. My car's out of commission, I said. Since we both know you're not doing anything for the next 45 minutes, do you know somewhere good to eat around here? And do you want to go see a movie first? There is a late Goddard film playing at the Pacific Film Archive. I've been thinking more along the lines of Mutant Arachnids 5, but I said, sure, you'll have to drive though, and let's get something to drink first, I'm posh. Once the garage owner showed up in his tow truck, I signed some forms. Then Virella drove me in her white Subaru to a cafe in Albany that was known for defying the California smoking ban. She changed into a black skirt with a red top and a jacket with a zebra skin pattern. She also wore leather boots. As we entered the cafe, the waitress recognized Virella and hurried over with an ashtray. The place was closing already and somebody was stacking plastic chairs. Past the cafe windows swarmed late returning commuters. Virella ordered a vodka straight up, and I asked for a Gatorade. She rested her foot on top of mine. Why don't you run your own business, she asked, instead of helping other people to start theirs? You run into more liabilities that way. I guess I'm happy at coaching people, but maybe you're right. Maybe I'd be happier as an individual private investor, you know, an angel. Virella said, you're already an angel. A bearded man in a lumberjack shirt sat reading a book of poems by Jimmy Carter. On the sidewalk, a child strapped into a high-tech looking stroller let out a wail. What's your deal, I asked. I don't get you at all. The moon was already visible in the still blue sky. Early stage is meant to be a gamble, Virella said, and leaning across the table, she ran her hand breathtakingly through my hair. Thanks.